Enthusiasm wasn't shared by the referee. He consulted his little book and Ray got to work with the paint remover.
Lifted up for Fletcher, and there's Cowling.
Town had no trouble finding the sticks at the cowshed end at least, but the 81-82 season as a whole didn't bring much luck. Town finished 17th in the league. Malcolm Brown was the only ever present as the team suffered many injury problems. One of the most devastating ended Steve Kinden's playing days. He had a distinguished career at Burnley and Wolves and brought joy to Leeds Road.
The rapport I had with the supporters, for me, was everything. The fact that we achieved success at Leeds Road, the 4th Division Championship, was a great achievement. The fact that I got to work with Mick Buxton was a feather in my career, as it were. Good manager, great manager. But also the friends.
The team which ran out for the 82-83 campaign had 5 new faces. Brian Cox in goal, David Burke at left-back, Phil Wilson and Steve Doyle in midfield, and Colin Russell up front. Buxton had created another exciting and stylish team which would take Town back into the 2nd Division after a 10-year absence. This was one of 23 victories in the league. During October and November, Town won 7 in a row. The fans also savoured a 1-0 win at Leeds in the League Cup, and Arsenal and Chelsea were given stiff tests in cup competition too. For Town's 20-goal top scorer, the memories of this campaign will always remain the most special.
I think the everlasting memories, well I'll take a few memories with me, but the everlasting one was the day we beat Newport when we came out in a big crowd and I was captain and we had to win, we did win and we got promotion and I think that'll stay with me for life.
By now there were 3 points for a win. Town, unbeaten at Leeds Road, finished with 82 and were the division's joint leading scorers. This time there was to be no trophy, but the fans relished Town's 2nd promotion in 4 years, and everyone at the club had felt part of it.
It was a lovely club, it was a lovely time to be at it. We had a great family atmosphere at the time, right down to dear old Nellie who's now passed away, the lady that used to wash our kit.
Brown left the club for Newcastle in the close season, having made 259 consecutive appearances for Huddersfield Town. With the likes of Billy Smith, George Brown and Jimmy Glazard, his name stands proudly at the top of the Leeds Road records.
Certainly I'm very proud to be a part of that, and it's something that stays with you for the rest of your life.
Malcolm Brown created his record in Leeds Road's 75th year, and the final game ever played there is now 75 minutes old.
As Cook flights one up to the edge of the area, Billy's clearance, there were almost a question of too many Cooks there, 2 of them went for it and it's Mitchell now who's recovered. Beach and Watson. Chris Billy loses out here to Neil Mitchell. And his cross is a deep one, and Simons was coming at the back post for it and is considered by Mr. Peck to have fouled the opponent.
Town fans had suffered in the 70s, but so far the 80s had brought nothing but success. Many were now dreaming of a return to the top flight, but the manager kept his feet firmly on the ground.
I remember very well, after getting promotion into the 2nd Division, within minutes of the game, sitting in my office and hearing everybody enjoying themselves and thinking, by God, you've made life bloody difficult for yourself now.
His thoughts were to prove very well founded. Season by season, Town slid down the 2nd Division table until they were finally relegated in 1988.
For the first season in the 2nd Division, there were no problems really. In the 2nd season, it started to get a wee bit more difficult. And when you're competing against the likes of your Leeds Uniteds and your Newcastles and your Sunderlands and your Chelseas and your Derby Counties, and you can go on and on really, the people we had to compete against to try and get to try and be up there near the top of the table, we weren't capable of doing that because we didn't have the same resources, financial resources. And eventually you know that you need better players and you're not in a position to get them, as simple as that. and unfortunately the better players that I had to sell.
It was a familiar tale, but Buxton still managed to bring some quality players to Leeds Road. Paul Jones proved inspirational at centre-half. Welsh international Joey Jones delighted supporters with his robust tackling. Terry Curran brought a touch of showmanship not seen since the days of Frank Worthington. And striker Duncan Shearer never looked back after netting a hat-trick on his full debut. Back in 1983, more than 200 supporters walked to the first match of the season at Blackburn to raise money for the construction of an area for disabled spectators at Leeds Road. The walk had been organised by Steve Kindon, who was by now working behind the scenes. The disabled supporters had a great view of Town's memorable FA Cup victory over First Division QPR. As Town finished midway down the table, Liverpool won the First Division title for the third time in a row, only the third club to clinch the hat-trick, nearly 50 years after Arsenal had done what Town did in the 20s. The 1985-86 season saw Town's ground become temporary home to Bradford City, who borrowed Leeds Road for 8 matches in the aftermath of the Valley Parade fire. As Bradford arrived at the ground, coach John Hazelden left for Reading, breaking up a highly successful 80-year partnership with Buxton. Losing such a key member of staff would make second division life even more difficult for the boss. And just 2 days before Day 1986, Buxton was sacked, ending the reign of Town's second longest serving manager. His days of glory at Leeds Road would be hard to forget.
Well, I don't think I'll ever forget him. I won't forget him because, as I said, I had some terrific times there, and successful times. And I have a lot of time, a hell of a lot of time for Huddersfield Town football.